Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday and welcome to Albuquerque Center for Spiritual Living. You're joining us this morning in our virtual sanctuary. We appreciate you taking time either on Facebook Live or on YouTube to be with us in this beautiful service that we have planned for you this morning. If you're new to this service, there is a link to a digital guest card on Facebook right above the chat feed, and I'll also be putting that into the chat feed for you to access a link to a guest card where you can let us know that you were here and how you found us and how we might be able to connect with you. But again, thank you so much, and feel free to use those chat feeds to get to know everybody that's enjoying this service today. For our candle blessing this morning, I wanted to pass on some news to you that one of our beloved community members, Charlie Miller, passed this week due to complications from COVID-19. You'll see a picture coming up on your screen of Charlie giving some comedic bunny ears to a very young Clarissa Crow and family. And that was taken at one of our retreats years ago. And just kind of shows you one of the beautiful sides of Charlie. Many people didn't know that Charlie worked for 50 years as a frontline medical worker at Loveless Hospital. He was a medical transport technician, and so if you ever spent a night in Loveless, there's a good chance that Charlie may have pushed your wheelchair around. And there's also a very good chance that you were blessed by his other superpower, which was he was kind of the resident Elvis of Loveless. And when he was not transporting patients around, he would go visit people with his guitar and brighten their day. Clarissa's dad was very ill and passed away in April. And beforehand, we received one of many, many visits and blessings from Charlie's unique ministry. I just wanted to share a glimpse of that with this video. We love you so much, Charlie, and you will be missed.
My father, he was a gambling man, way down in New Orleans. So children, don't you don't live your life in sin and misery.
Good morning, and welcome to our virtual sanctuary here at the Albuquerque Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Kelly Saindon, and I am a licensed spiritual practitioner here at the center, and thank you for joining us. I'm going to begin with our opening prayer, our invocation. Let's get settled into our space, and let's take a deep breath together. And as we take this deep breath together, we're connecting to each other, and we're embracing the existence and the universal presence of the Creator. We connect to the infinite source of all that answers to all names, the Great Spirit, the Great Mystery, the One. And we connect to the knowing that the omnipresence lives in and through everything. We celebrate the knowing that there is no place, there is no space, there is no breath, there is no moment that the divine does not exist in. There is nothing outside the divine source of infinite. An endless supply of substance and supply live there. As we take a breath together, we know that this divine being, this eternal light, unlimited frequency of love, is the creator of all life, including each of us. And I affirm for each of us right here, right now, that we are connected to that one power, to that one presence, to that one divine infinite intelligence. And I claim that there is nothing that stops each of us from connecting to it. There is no boundaries, that separates us from God. Nothing blocking any of us from expanding our awareness and our connection to God's existence within each of us. I recognize right now this is the truth for each of us, right here and right now. So we can continue to take deep breaths together. As we relax into the state of knowing and open our heart, allowing today's to gracefully unfold through all the wisdom, the spiritual practices, and the love that will be found in the words, the messages, and the music shared today. We rest in this truth, and that our time together is a gift for each of us to anchor ourselves in the connection of our oneness and our love. Let's unwrap the first gift by allowing Spirit to gently guide us during this time together as we move into our sacred reading. Quote, "If there's nowhere else you can be and all other options have vanished, going nowhere can prove the best adventure around." Pico Iyer. Allowing yourself to venture into the unknown of nowhere can bring on feelings of fear or despair or anxiety. But nowhere is an uncharted adventure awaiting to gift us unexpected grace. Because nowhere is a place of the unknown, and it invites us to lay down all expectations and allows us to enter that space with curiosity. Nowhere is a space that is full of mystery with no distractions, a place where we can explore the depths of ourselves. Taking the time to be in the space of nowhere gives us discovery, untold blessings, and unexpected grace. Quote, "Nowhere is so far off the map that it is the smallest beauties that are discovered." Unquote. Pico Iyer. We don't have to be afraid of entering the place of nowhere. All we really have to do is not be distracted by its existence and rather allow it to be our greatest teacher and the divine opportunity to connect to God that lives within each of us. Nowhere shares with each of us its freedom to explore, to stay present in the moment, and let it shine its light of unexpected grace, becoming a beacon of love, illuminating the depths of ourselves. Let's unwrap another gift by allowing Spirit to gracefully move us deeper within each of us during this meditation time. I invite you to get even more comfortable where you're at. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Take a couple of deep, slow breaths. These are sacred breaths that gives your body relaxation. Allow your jaw to relax. Allow your shoulders to fall down away from your ears. As you breathe, breathe in peace and breathe out tension. Take a moment to scan your body, and if there is tension anywhere, allow that tension to be released with each exhale. Allow every breath to be a physical reminder to let yourself sink deeper and deeper into calmness. Breathe in peace. Breathe out worry. As your body feels a deepening relaxation, you can feel a warmth covering you, and you can see the healing light of God within you growing brighter. This growing light and this warmth radiates throughout your entire body. You recognize that this is love, and you are a glowing orb of love. Take a deep breath in, breathing in love and breathing out fear. As you feel, as you see this orb of love glowing throughout your body, you allow it to permeate every cell of your being. As it heals, it protects, it teaches, it restores and helps you. Because this love is the truth of who you are. As you let the truth rain down all over you, you are brought back into your space. And as we come out of our meditation, we bring with us the feeling of complete peace. And we continue to let the glowing orb of love that is each of us envelop us like a comforting quilt. We know that that space within us is always with us, whenever we want it. I invite you to bring your attention back into your physical space, feeling the chair or the sofa underneath you. And just begin by stretching your body, moving a little. Let your consciousness know where you're at in the here and now by moving your arms, your fingers, your legs. Stretch out your back. And when you're comfortable, slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, and welcome to the rest of this service. Namaste.
Let it go, let it go, let the cares of the day fade away. Breathe in the light of love,
Good morning. My name is Maddie Suarez, and I'm a practitioner here at the ABQCSL Center for Spiritual Living. I'm so glad you're joining us. I'm here in my spiritual home, my sanctuary, and we're so glad that you are here to hear our message today. So thank you. I'm going to go over the questions that we have today. There's 2 questions. I'll read the first one to you. How can you open up a space for unsuspected grace in your life today? Grace. I love that word, grace. I would say this past week I've practiced stillness, as Amani told us was her goal for us this week. And in that stillness, which was about 10 minutes a day, I found myself coming to a place of grace, to a place of calmness, and just all the crazy kind of left me, which is always a wonderful place to be. I think that is a place of grace. That's a place I like to be in, which I want to be in more. So that was my experience this week. I'm going to go ahead and read the second question to you now. Who or what can you look to for a reminder that Spirit is right where you are? I don't know, what comes to mind right now is friendship. I have amazing friends that are so kind and good to me, and I just think that Spirit, that I can think of someone and all of a sudden they call me or they show up at my door or something happens. I just know that we're all connected. I believe that. I can look out the window and see the beautiful trees or the mountains or my dog, and then I know that we're all connected at all times. So let us know what you think. Go ahead and put something in the chat that you might want to share with us so that we can get to know you better and feel that connection together. So put something in the chat and let us know what you think. I am so grateful to see you today and let you know that we are at a time this month of giving. This is our giving month. And every single penny that you've ever given to the center, we thank you so much for. We're so grateful for, and we appreciate everything so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You can donate through text or through the website. The number to text is probably on your screen right now, and you can also do it on the website, abqcsl.org. You can donate as a one-time gift or set up as a sustaining giver, which is something we would love so that we know what we can count on every month. And we thank you in advance for all your generosity, especially at this time of the year and especially in the year itself. We really appreciate everything, and we really want to help as many people as possible. So thank you so much for everything that you've done. I'm going to go ahead and read our affirmation, our abundance affirmation that's written by Paul Cuffey. My community is my refuge. In the darkest of times, I join with my community and find solace in Spirit. We are all each other's keepers. Our love is our gift. I give with love to my spiritual family, and with love I receive all blessings. Ashe, Aho, Iasias, Amen, and so it is.
Last night I had the strangest dream. I wrote most of the song you're gonna hear in my sleep. The message was crystal clear, and the melody came from a place in me, mysterious and yet so real. And it goes like this. Shining up my Sunday shoes, I'm getting ready for God. I'm paying up my earthly dues, I'm getting ready for God. The path of faith is what I choose, I'm getting ready for God. And I know where to go, Spirit tells me so. Yes, I know where to go, Spirit tells me so. I'm throwing down my sword and shield, I'm getting ready for God. A banner of peace is what I yield, I'm getting ready for God. Like a willow in the wind I yield, I'm getting ready for God. And I know where to go, Spirit tells me so. Yes, I know where to go, Spirit tells me so. The greatest gift that we can give is that love that starts from within. First we must learn to love ourselves greatest gift that we can give is that love that starts from within. First we must learn to love ourselves, and then that love spills out and touches everybody else. I'm opening up my heart to love. I'm getting ready for God, receiving gifts from all around. I'm getting ready for God. Each step I take is on sacred ground. I'm getting ready for God, and I know where to go. Spirit tells me so. Yes, I know where to go. Spirit tells me so. Yes, I know where to go. Spirit tells me so. Yes, I know where to go. Spirit tells me.
Hello, beloveds. I have been so excited to share this next quote with you. It is so juicy. From Mirabai Star's The God of Love. You meet your God in silence. In silence, your God speaks to you. And you understand the primordial language, and it resolves every quandary. This is why you thirst for the silence like a man hiking in the desert who has drunk the last drop in the bottle and does not know how long it takes to get to his car. Like a mother rushing to her meditation pillow, like a mother reunited with her child, and light a candle, drop your gaze, and sink into the embrace of silence. This is why you are not afraid of emptiness. It overflows with gracious plenitude. The God of love lives here. I love, love, love this notion of how scrumptious and good it is to go to the silence, to go to the stillness, and know that you will be embraced by it because the God of love is there. That's what we're talking about this month, in this adventure of going nowhere, and this request for stillness. That when we give ourselves the practice of this, when we give ourselves the gift of daily returning, we begin to allow ourselves to be so loved in that space. To know that as we rush to our meditation pillow, that God of love is just on the other side of our closed eyes, just on the other side of our fuzzy gaze, our lit candle. It is a beautiful, glorious gift that we can give ourselves. Rabbi Heschel, who I spoke of last week, rock star rabbi, says in his book, The Sabbath, the higher goal of spiritual living is not to amass a wealth of information, but to face sacred moments. To face sacred moments. And sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes it feels like I've got to face this, which is like a big ask. It's a big ask sometimes in our spiritual journey to face that silence, to face that kind of love. That kind of love can be a lot to take sometimes. And I think sometimes that can be the barrier for some of us to spiritual practice, to getting still, to going within, is sometimes we don't feel equipped to face the sacred moments. Like we can't handle that kind of love. You know, sometimes I think we want to just sort of piece it out. I keep thinking right now of Jack Nicholson screaming, "You can't handle the truth!" But it is that way sometimes, that we avoid those moments on the cushion. We avoid those moments of embrace just waiting for us behind our closed eyes. Because I think sometimes we think we're not worthy of it. It's not just about being scared of the chaos we find in our own minds. I think sometimes we're scared of being that loved. I think We're scared, because I know I've been scared, of having nothing to do. Right? Like sometimes the idea that I am absolutely whole, perfect, and complete right now is a scary idea. Because like, then what? Like there's nothing to do? Like I don't need to sharpen it or improve it? I don't need to make it better, perfect my perfection somehow? And no. One of the greatest discoveries in the stillness, in the emptiness that is so filled with grace, grace unexpected, is this absolute all is wellness. And to fall in that kind of love with your own being, it is a game changer. It's radical, actually. It is nonconformist. Because when you fall in that kind of love with yourself, and then with life itself, and realize that that is what powers you, that is what sources you, there is not a commercial in the world that can brainwash you. There is not a stuff or a shiny thing that suddenly feels like it is critical to your life being okay. You become a really bad consumer. You become completely irrelevant, that's the word. You become irrelevant to toxic capitalism. That's how powerful spiritual practice is. That's how powerful going nowhere is to come into contact with the greatest force in the universe and to realize that there is an infinite supply of this force, of this power, of this capital L love, and it is living in me. It's living in you. That is entirely worth the journey, yes? I want to take a minute and celebrate one of the folks I got to actually discover in stillness and continue to discover and celebrate with in stillness, which is Guadalupe. And it is her feast day right now. And I want to tell you a little bit about why she's so important to me. Guadalupe is a mestiza goddess. She, for me, is a mishmash of Mother Mary and Tonantzin, an Aztec goddess. And there's a lot of debate about how she has come into being. And there's a lot of debate about whether she is good or bad, and all of these things. And so the story I will share with you is not a historical fact, but Guadalupe is somebody in my life who has become the patron saint of mixed girls everywhere. She represents to me the power of what happens when two incredible forces come together and make something new. And for that, I light a candle to Guadalupe every week on my Sabbath. So I want to tell you about the story of Juan Diego, who, again, may not be historically accurate, but it is a dang good parable. Juan Diego is an Aztec from Cuautitlan, which had fallen to Spanish rule in the 16th century. And he was out running his errands, headed to go do the things he had to do that day. And on his way, he stopped for a moment because something caught his attention up on the hill, in the hill of Tepeyac. And Tepeyac is the sacred site of goddess Tonantzin. But what he saw there was who would become known as Guadalupe. It was an apparition. And he went to her, and she said to him, Juan Dieguito, go tell the bishop that they must build a temple to me here. I love that. She said, I am the mother of God, and I need a temple here on this hill. I love her so much. And so suddenly Juan had no more errands to run. He had one thing to do, which was to go to the bishop, find a way that the bishop would even see a native Aztec. But he got in, and he went to the bishop, and he said, you got to build a temple. God's mom is up on the hill, and you got to build a temple. And the bishop, of course, was like, yeah, no. So he went back, he talked to Guadalupe. Guadalupe was like, go tell him again. So he did. He went and told him again. And again, bishop was like, yeah, crazy dude, no. So Juan Diego then had a sick uncle the next day, and the uncle was dying. And so he was running into town to go get the priests to do the last rites, because he had been converted to Catholicism. And was told that you need priests in order to go to heaven. So he was running into town to get priests, and Guadalupe came down the hill to interrupt his errand and was like, I got your uncle. I am the mother of God. Juan Dieguito, come on. Mama of God right here. I got you. Your uncle's cool. Don't worry about it. Get my temple built. You got this one thing. Get my temple built. So back to the bishop he went. And this time, Juan said, look, I need a sign. I need some proof. They don't believe me. And so she gave him this miracle proof of roses that were in the cloth of his cloak and the roses themselves. And he goes down. The bishop sees the miracle. Holy cow, why didn't we believe you before? Next thing you know, Guadalupe has a temple. Uncle is cured. All is well. And Guadalupe has become one of the most meaningful goddesses, modern-day goddesses, of the Mexican heritage. And it's funny, more people in Mexico claim to be followers of Guadalupe than they do to be Catholic. Guadalupe is boss, let me just say. But here's what I want to tell you about this parable, which is this invitation to stillness is not just about getting still. It's also about what unsuspected grace rises in the space that we have set aside for stillness. What possibility comes into being because we've paused? Critical point in the story for Juan is Juan paused his activity and made himself available to divine contact, to absolute wisdom, to God herself. And had he just decided his busy was too important, he may not have noticed that God was like, yo, I got work for you. I got important work for you. Do you think Juan Diego was at home doing a vision board about a temple for Guadalupe? Probably not. It was in the pause that he made himself available to a higher possibility, an absolutely unexpected possibility. One that could not have been planned for, visioned for, prayed for. It was in the opening himself to God that then guided him, like we talked about last week, that made it possible for him to speak from something deeper, to act with this something deeper, something greater, something truer. And so that is a great example, a wonderfully exaggerated example of what becomes possible in our physical manifest day-to-day lives, when we pause and open to that possibility, when we pause and open to direct contact from wisdom of God itself. That is exciting when you think about the anointing